Okay. Okay. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpatrabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. If it's okay, can you also follow with me? Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, okay. Let me know if you can see my screen that I'm sharing. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, let's begin then. So today I'll be covering these topics as part of this session, and these are mainly the search for the absolute truth, perceiving Krishna in his creation. Yeah, I think last session Vaijayanti Mataji was telling about Krishna as absolute truth, if I'm right.
Yes.
So I think I could go with a bit of a better pace rather than the last time, where I had no time to talk about time topic. So, but can someone help me to give me a kind of indication, like when we are halfway through the time? Yeah, so I'll know that I have to speed up when if needed. Thank you. So we are talking about the search for the absolute truth. All of us, we want truth. No one of us want to be in illusion. No one of us want to be in falsity. Yeah, because when we know the truth, then we have a lot of confidence. We have a lot of trust, and sometimes people also play with truth, isn't it? Yeah. So they say, yes, indeed, we have spoken the truth, but is it what kind of truth? Yeah. Yeah. So let's try to understand from a scientific as well as spiritual point of view. And yeah, let's see if anyone has any questions. If it's quick, I'll pick it up now in the flow. Otherwise, I'll say, okay, if you have time, we'll cover that in the Q&A later. So let's first understand what is absolute truth. Yeah, because when we are reading scriptures, we come across truth is one thing, but absolute truth is there a difference? And absolute truth refers to a reality which doesn't change over time. Yeah. So truth, we usually say yes. Yeah, we should always speak truth. We should be very truthful. When we speak truth, that what we speak can become a relative thing. Yeah, because at that moment of time, it might be the fact. Yeah, just like the height of Himalayas is some number. If I tell now, and after few years, yeah, we know that because of the Himalayas going in. Yeah, so the height is also shrinking. Yeah. So, which means after few hundred of years or thousand of years, yeah, it's no more truth. Or let's say if, yeah, dinosaurs are uh, real beings existing, in maybe in I mean, past it was true, but now it doesn't exist. So only through facts. Yeah, I think that also topic was covered, right? How to know absolute truth, or how to, or what are the pramans? Yeah, how one can know the absolute knowledge, if that's covered. Otherwise, yeah, it will also be covered as part of the Bhakta course. So absolute truth means a truth that doesn't change over time, and that time can be eternal. It's not we are talking about hundred of years or few hundred of years, thousands, or no, it's beyond the time. That doesn't change at all. Absolute means all other truths are relative to it or depend on it. This is another level of understanding that truth, yeah, definitely is one. It is this param satyam dhimahi. Yeah, the absolute truth is only one, and all other truths are still connected to it. Yeah, but this one truth doesn't change. When we talk about God or Krishna, we are talking about that absolute truth. Why? Because we want to accept some as a God who doesn't get influence, or who is under the influence of uh, material conditions or material circumstances. So when we are talking about God, of course, He should be very special, definitely. And in what way? That He doesn't change. That He has been there before, He is now, and He will be there. And in that way, we are talking about absolute truth. In that way, whenever we are addressing absolute truth is non-different from Krishna. Yeah. Absolute truth is a source of everything. Why? Because that is the origin. As soon as when we talk of, maybe someone has to go on mute, if I, or if there is a question, yeah, yeah, let you can, yeah, unmute and speak. Yeah. So the absolute truth is a source of everything and the ultimate cause of all causes. So it is that truth, yeah, which we should believe in, where it stays forever, and that is the source of everything. How to understand that is, if the truth itself is wavering, if truth itself is moving, how can we base everything else? Because every statement what we speak will be um, untrustworthy and also not correct. So for the accuracy, for the correctness of a statement, yeah, it should definitely be that the truth should be always. Yeah, when we are talking about this sun rises in the east, it's absolute truth. Whichever part of the world we are, we see that sun rises in the east. Of course, one may ask the question, okay, but why east? Or one may ask, okay, uh, but we call it some other name. Those are different things. I mean, of course, not in the context of this session, but we need to understand that what we accept as that doesn't change is none other than absolute truth. And we see that uh, in the evidence of Bhagavad Gita, the references that Lord Himself speaks when He is answering Arjuna's question. Through that, we understand the God, is absolute truth. Why? Because He said that I know about you in the past, I will know about you in the future. I know who you are. It's only that you do not know. Yeah, so what we could perceive is only relative truth. But when we take into the spirituality, then what we do is we can also get, um, ideally, we are searching for absolute truth, but we are disappointed because we think the relative truth as absolute truth. And because it is changing, we are bewildered and we are also disappointed. And what is the word in Sanskrit for the absolute is Satyam Param. Param means the topmost, the highest. Satyam, truth. So in Srimad-Bhagavatam, there is this wonderful verse, Vadanti tat tattvam vidat, tattvam yad jnanam avijnanam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyeti. So this verse is telling about that the same truth, Yeah, the absolute truth is perceived in three different features. Yeah, and these three features are called Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Sabdhyateti. This is telling that the same Lord can be realized in three. First one is the Brahman. Second one is Paramatma. The third one is Bhagavan. And we'll spend a little time to understand this absolute truth. Yeah. These three are the same one truth. We're talking about the same one truth, but realized, yeah, this is not changing. It is not that something is changing, but these are eternally existing as one truth. There is no difference. It's only the level of realization through which one can see. Yeah, I'll also present few examples later to understand the same thing. So in the beginning, or in the early realization, we would see the Lord, the absolute appearing impersonal. We know what is a person and what is imperson. A person means having a form, whereas imperson means one doesn't has a form. Easy example is the name and a number. When we relate a person with a number, we do not know about him. He is also like any other number. Yeah. Just for our convenience we address. But when we address a particular person by name, then we try to get better understanding of this person. Yeah, why? Of course, it can still denote that it is only a name. Yeah, it's only a way or a reference for a person to be addressed upon. Yeah, but there's a difference. Yeah, we know that. Okay, when we are talking about a Vaikuntha Nilayam or a door number 144, or when we are taking Krishna Balram Mandir, yeah, um, in Vrindavan, it gives us a better understanding of the place of this truth. Yeah. So the early, I mean, one can also identify or see the absolute truth in the impersonal form. Yeah. But one with more advancement, the supreme is perceived within one's own heart and the hearts of others. This is the next level of realization, and the topmost is it is not just seeing the Lord uh, in, in one's own heart and in every being, but also seeing the Lord Himself has His own form, and He has His own place, He has His own home, He has His own activities, yeah, and He exchanges relationship with everyone who would like to be in His association. That is the topmost, the highest realization, to see the supreme truth as the supreme person who is complete in wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So the references we can take are yeah, we can have so many, but for this context, if we see Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam, yeah, we can understand that the scriptures refer that the supreme personality of Godhead as Krishna. Yeah, at end of the session, or maybe when I'm sharing the slide deck with you, I'll also give some references which Upanishad, yeah, where it is mentioned about this, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So first, when we see the Brahman, Brahman is spirit. Yeah, Brahman, yeah, is the kind of spirit which is the greatest, the supreme, uh, and Krishna's all-pervading energy. So what we see with this the light, that we are seeing, of course, is the sunlight. But where is the sun getting that light? It is from the Brahman, and we will also understand later from where this Brahman has this so much light. Yeah, but when we talk about right now at Brahman, Brahman means that the spirit of the supreme Krishna's all-pervading energy. So the Lord can be seen at a personal level, that Lord, yeah, and then Lord can be perceived through His power. Just like in an organization, we don't get to see the head of the company, but we can see that the whole management is overseen by him. So he is the one who is exercising the power, and with his power, everything is uh, managed. So in that way, the power, what we see, is this Brahman, is the oneness that underlies the variety of substances of existence. So all the living beings, yeah, the spirits, all together, when we see it is this oneness, and that is Brahman. So we are also Brahman. Yeah, and then this whole creation is the Brahman. And whatever we see is indeed the energy of the Lord. And this energy, in last session we were talking about the 24 elements and how the material energy got created and all, and also who are we, spiritual entities. So the spiritual entities, yeah, is that we is this Brahman. That's why we also hear according like Aham Brahma Asmi, yeah, which is saying that I am of that type. What type? I am of the spirit, soul, Brahman. And then we see what kind of Brahmans are there. One is the Saguna Brahman and Nirguna Brahman. Saguna Brahman is manifested, Sagun, yeah, which is formed. Even when, for example, when we are worshipping the Lord, we are worshipping the Lord in a temple where the Lord is taking the Sagunakar, where the Lord is taking a form in the wood or stone or gold or, yeah, these that is Saguna means having a form. And this whole manifestation, material manifestation, which we are seeing, which is electrified and working uh, with all the gross elements, subtle elements, that Brahman with manifested quality is called Saguna Brahman, material world. And then Nirguna Brahman, yeah, is there, which is beyond, and that is the it is in unmanifested. We can't, yeah, it is a spiritual world, uh, that is not in the in all these varieties that we are seeing. Yeah. So we talk about that. That is this, Brahma Jyoti. Yeah. The next realization is Paramatma. Yeah, the super soul. Parama Atma. Atma is the soul that is inside our heart, but we are not alone. At any moment of time, we are not alone. We are always having the company of Paramatma. Who is that Paramatma? It is also the Supreme Lord, uh, where we can realize Him very, very close to ourselves. It is not that the Lord is, yeah, we see that, okay, Lord is described that He resides in a spiritual world, uh, but the same Lord expands so that He is also present in our heart. A localized expansion of the Lord expanded everywhere in every heart and atom of the material universe. So, in that way, Paramatma means the all pervading aspect of the Supreme Lord. What we covered, Brahmeti Paramatmeti, and he is the one who one but appears divided. Yeah, it is still one single Paramatma. It is not that there are multiple Paramatma, depending on how many number of living beings are there, how many level of animated inanimated things are there. In each of them there is a different Paramatma. No, it is one Paramatma, but it divides and appears in everyone, and just like the sun rays on everyone. It is still one sun, but the same sun is manifesting in the form of rays and falling in every part of our body. Here, he knows all bodies, unlike the individual soul. That is the difference between Paramatma and Anuatma, Jivatma. Yeah, we are called infinitesimal being, uh, Anuatma, or we are also called Jivatma because we are, when we compare with a material thing, uh, we have six symptoms where we have this is because of the soul, yeah, and this is called, that's why it's called Jiva, life. Jiva means life, so life or living being. But the Lord is, as He pervades all the bodies, so He can see in everyone who is going through what kind of um, feelings. what kind of um, issues, what kind of moments in his life, because he is as witness who is residing in everyone's heart, so he can perceive the feeling of everyone, unlike us, because we can only max perceive our own feelings, and that too when we are um, mentally paralyzed in a way that we lack sensitivity, we lack perception, we can't even know about ourselves. But the Lord, who is pervading all over in everyone, he knows every feeling of every being. Uh, that is that the Lord is doing through his Paramatma expansion. His source and identity. I think in the last session we were talking about that the Lord expands in Mahavishnu, and then one Mahavishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Yeah, we see that how a universe is created, and in each universe there is Garbhodakasai Vishnu from whom Brahma comes. But then we also discussed there is Kshirodakasai Vishnu who resides in the Milky Ocean, but who also resides in everyone's heart. Yeah, and how to know, how to perceive. Yeah, as we see that yogis, when they're doing meditation, then they can meditate on the universe, and when they meditate on the universe, they can realize Brahma Jyoti, which is Brahman realization, and the Paramatma expansion can be seen by the yogis, uh, but also we. How can we see is that we see sometimes when we are doing an activity, sometimes there is we think that it's the mind which is directing us to do something, but then we also say, hey, some inner voice was telling me don't do that or do like this. Yeah, I never, it's not me. If I would have done or thought, or we usually say it's a sixth sense, or this terms, yeah, we use, but it is the indication that Paramatma, yeah, he is not just only a witness, just keeping a track of what we are doing. Did we get up in time, on time, and did we do our activities? No, he also helps us when we earnestly ask the Lord. When we turn inside to our heart, and when we always keep praying, "Oh Lord, please help me." At in ev- on a, in our daily prayers, when we pray, then the Lord also reciprocates. It is only he is just witness, because if we don't want his involvement, but as soon as when we want his the Lord's involvement, then we are getting this inner voice, or sometimes we call the hand of the Lord in our day-to-day life, where the direction is the Lord who is doing, and that is coming from the Paramatma. Yeah, he has an knowledge, and is our best well-wishing friend. As I said, he knows our past lives, what mistakes have we done, what is the best thing for us. uh, unless our mind always wants to show interest in um, what is it called, priyas, yeah, desires, attachments, yeah. But the Lord, who is our well-wisher, he wants to give us only um, shreyas, hitas, yeah, what is good for us, what is that auspicious thing that we need. So in that way, the Lord, as he says in Bhagavad Gita, yeah, Sahridam Sarva Bhutanam. So he is the well-wisher of all the living beings. So in that way, um, yeah, the one who is directing us in this form of a friend, he is Paramatma, just residing inside our own heart. Therefore, what we should do is that we should surrender to him. We should take shelter. It's not that we show our envy. It's not that we show our rebel and repulsive nature, but rather, like how we approach our friends. We don't just mm, misbehave or behave like whatever we want, but we know, like, okay, what pleases my friend, and so that we arrange things, we arrange gifts, we make our uh, moments of association with those friends very friendly. Yeah, so therefore we also have we can understand from this that Lord is the well-wisher of everyone. He is our best friend. So when we take shelter of him, what will happen will be that we will be the best getting from that. So then the third, which is the Brahman expansion Bhagavan expansion, Bhagavateti Shabdyate, which says that the Lord can be perceived not in only these two ways, but in absolute complete form. If one really want to know even the complete identity of the Lord, uh, one can know that from here that which is called Bhagavaneti. Bhaga, yeah, Parashara Muni says that the Supreme Person is the one, or the Supreme Lord is the one who possesses all the six opulences in full, unlimited capacities. What are these qualities? He is the wealthiest, strongest, uh, famous in all the worlds, not just like once, but in the even spiritual worlds, and most beautiful, highly knowledgeful, and most renunciant. So one who has all these is considered the absolute truth. In Srimad-Bhagavatam, in the first canto, there is this after Parikshit Maharaj is telling all the incarnations, principal incarnations. He says finally, but Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. The we don't have to analyze things. Of course, yeah. After all, Lord has given us intelligence. But intelligence, if we intelligently use, we come to the right um, outcome. Rather, if we use the intelligence in avoiding the Vedas, avoiding the essence of the Vedas, then such a intelligence, yeah, is actually forgetfulness. Yeah. Though it is something like a mad person in a hospital. A mad person, he might think that he is the Bill Gates. He might think he is the president. He might think prime minister because of his consciousness. But his location is in a hospital. Similarly, people, when we do not understand that who is the supreme person, in order that we get this understanding, in order that we get through this rectification of misunderstanding, we are given an opportunity to take the human form of life. And in this human form of life, what we do is we understand the Lord in the most absolute truth form. Yeah. So Parashar Muni, who is enlightened, yeah, Parikshit Maharaj, who have already realized, and they are sharing the absolute truth. We don't have to rediscover, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Even the science doesn't do that. Scientists also, what do? They pick up the four what do you call, previously proven facts, previously proven statements, and from that assumption they come up with new findings, and those findings are proved, and in that way it is confirmed. So we don't have to create everything, we don't have to reinvent, we don't have to do a seeker job where we are thinking, no, when Krishna is telling, why did he tell like that? When Krishna is telling, did he tell really like that? Huh? Or I'm not able to understand this like this. I think Krishna is not telling. I think someone is telling like this. Let me spend some time, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and after taking deep breath, we know what happens. We fall asleep. So, in the way of seeking, there is a risk that one can, yeah, slip from the right path. Rather, one can take the words of authorities, and through authorities, we can save a lot of time and be have a safe trip back to Godhead. So in that way, we see. I mean, I'm just putting here a link. If from a Back to Godhead magazine, there is an elaborate explanation about each fame, each opulence, and one cannot simply claim that I am God. Yeah, why? Because later slides we can see uh, what Lord claims that He is, and Lord proves that He is. Can we really do it, or can anyone who is saying I am God hmm, can do it? Let's see. So far, so good. Or any questions? Or maybe let me keep finish 3 more slides to kind of bring to a logical end, and then before we proceed, we can have a small discussion if there are questions. Yeah. To understand what are the qualities or realizations of a one who is perceiving Brahman, one who is looking, who is meditating on the Brahman form of the Lord, and what is that one who is taking Bhagavan realization, practicing that. What they get is uh, in Brahman there is this nirguna, yeah, without the qualities. Yeah, what qualities? There is no this material qualities, of course, but there is also no variegatedness. That there is mm, color. Yeah, when we talk about color characteristics, right? Color. Uh, how does mm, this objects, spiritual entities, spiritual paraphernalia, all these things are not there. It is just a very transcendental light of the Lord. Yeah, this is what is Brahman. Whereas when we see in in Bhagavan realization, one is seeing Sagunakar, where the Lord has form. Yeah, we know this Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, and in that way the Lord has the form. uh, and this form is the Bhagavan form. Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam, and in that we also see that the Lord in his topmost um, realization, we see that he is the cause of everything, including the Brahman, his own effulgence. And then Brahman is inconceivable potencies. So both have inconceivable potencies. So we cannot just simply perceive with our gross eyes. Yeah, we cannot simply see with our gross senses the Lord either in the Brahman form or in the Bhagavan form, and both are all pervading. And this all pervading um, of Bhagavan is very special. He also is in the Paramatma form. He is present in everyone's heart, and he is also in the energy form. He is present everywhere, filled with. He's filling all the material universes with his energy. So in that way, also he is all pervading, and both are unchanging, fixed, and immovable. This is the quality of absolute truth. uh, and then when we talk about the how to perceive, cannot perceive any opulence. Whatever we are telling that six opulences is the one who is Bhagavan. Yeah, so these opulences we cannot perceive in light. Yeah, it is still the light, it is still the Lord's light, it is still the Lord himself, but we cannot perceive the additional dimension, enhanced dimension of the Lord. Whereas in the Bhagavan one can see all the full expansion, perceive him. And then what is um, the goal of Brahman realization? For them there is also a risk of not realizing absolute truth at the end. Yeah, one who is meditating on this Brahman Jyoti and then finally are reaching. There is also that it's not a permanent place there where there is lack of appreciation of variation, appreciation of pleasure. This all this is lacking, and then one may get also distracted because it needs a lot of uh, determination in practicing such a yoga. Yeah. Whereas one who is after the Bhagavan realization, the success is guaranteed. Why? Because nothing is lost. Because Krishna himself is saying, Neha Vikramana Sosti, he's saying that one who, I mean, Arjuna is asking this question. Yeah, this practice, spiritual practices is very difficult. What happens to the guy who is in the middle? Yeah, we are always man in the middle, right? Neither the expert yogis nor expert bhogis. We are stuck in the middle. And Arjuna is asking, what about the bhaktas? Where do they belong? Do they really have any chance? Because they are in the aspiration of future pleasure, they are missing current pleasure. Yeah. So for them, what is the hope? What is the and Krishna is saying that for one in this kind of endeavor, there is no loss. Swalpamapyatsa dharmasya. Even if one does a small, minute service, that is recorded for eternity, that is there forever. So that in case if one takes a next body in the material world, again, when he is practicing spirituality, he is not a newcomer anymore. That's why we see, yeah, when Srila Prabhupada, when he went to US, he came across so many who joined him, yeah, who became his disciples, who even became Brahmins. And Prabhupada himself said that, yeah, these are great devotees in their previous lives. Yeah, but where did they end? They ended in US. They, yeah, but as soon as when Prabhupada came, and then they picked up from where they left. So then the seventh one, yeah, may realize the eternal Sat and Chit aspects of the original nature, which is only a partial realization. Whereas in absolute, in Bhagavan realization, they when they go to the spiritual world or when they are seeing, they can have, yeah, if they aspire, they can have real darshan of the Lord. Not only have real darshan of the Lord, they can engage in the five different rasas. Yeah, of course, Shantaras is the one that devotees are not interested, but from Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras, yeah. So this is really personal one engaging in the personal uh, realization of the Lord, because one is offering him arati, yeah. So one is in this process in archanam, yeah, or one is offering vandanam, one is offering in Sakhyam, which means rendering service in the friendly friendship mode. Yeah, in that way, which means uh, one can get the most complete form of realization by understanding or or aspiring for Bhagavan realization. Some examples that we can see here are, yeah, because now we are talking about Lord in three levels. Yeah, so we are talking about also how to understand what kind of level we can, what level of truth one is realizing when they are going to Brahman or Paramatman or Bhagavan realization. With the example of train when it's coming, yeah, first we, of course, we hear to the sound. Yeah, so we see the sound. Um, if the train is not in the direct line of sight, of course, yeah, I have to be very specific to scientists and engineers here. So, but first thing what we hear is the sound. But then when it's coming closer and closer and closer, when it comes in the line of sight, then we start seeing the object, the train. And then when it comes even more closer and it comes to the platform, we can even see the one who is inside it. That, of course, we are talking about these days. What is it called? The auto autonomous driving. Yeah, so maybe the trains also have a driver. Yeah, a driver we cannot see. Yeah, but we can see that definitely uh, behind such a thing there is intelligence, and intelligence is always beyond the five gross elements. So definitely that intelligence, whatever we are putting in terms of our logic, in terms of coding, behind that there is still the intelligence of man, and that intelligence, yeah, is definitely there. One can realize to that extent, and that intelligence is the person, and in that way we can know that okay, there is a driver. The other example is approaching a distance very far mountain. Yeah, when very going closer and closer. Initially, this mountain seems like a picture, a very nice, what do we call, landscape. A landscape where we don't see depth, we don't see the three-dimensional aspect. But when we go more closer and closer, then we start seeing that, oh, the color of this is because of so and so trees, because of so and so what do you call, mm, water ponds. or the lakes which are there. And the more we go, we see, okay, it's not just as soft and smooth as I was thinking from a very far, but more when we get closer and closer, we start even seeing the people on the mountain. Yeah. So this is one another thing. The more we go higher and higher, or deeper and deeper, then we start understanding the absolute truth in a more and more whole completeness. Yeah. And then the example, third one, yeah, we can also relate is with the sun. So the first thing that we can already perceive is the sun rays. Yeah, when we lift our head, then we can, if we can see the sun, then we can see, okay, it is a globe or a disk, or of course, science says it's a ball of um hot gases. Yeah, but then these hot gases, we don't see any company with the hot gases just doing their job on their own, right? There is someone who is fueling it. Huh? There is one who is pouring the fuel and letting it burn. Yeah, just like if you see any steel factories. Yeah, there is a whole team of people who are making it happen. So in that way, the residents of Sun globe, they are making sure that, yeah, one may think, okay, is it how is it possible that, because fire, yeah, even Krishna is saying fire burns everything, huh? But of course, fire doesn't burn the soul. So, and of course, these beings have a special body. Just like if we have a fire accident, we know how the fire brigade have a special clothes, which is fire resistant to certain degree, certain grade. So similarly, the bodies of the beings in the planet, yeah, yeah, also are, yeah, they are beings, yeah, because otherwise, what is the purpose of a planet? What is the purpose of something, a house where no one is going to stay in? Why will one create such a house, thinking, okay, I want to build something? Yeah, but there is also a purpose, right? Someone make use of it. It's not like, okay, even what do you call Taj Mahal, or if you take even what is this? Mm, um, yeah, Eiffel Tower. Yeah, of course, no one is living in the Eiffel Tower, but indeed there is the plan of engineers to build something like that to have its own purpose, so that everyone can come, and then when they come, they go on it. Yeah. So anyway, that's again sidetracked topic, but in that way we see that, and inside this there is a personality, the person, and then the head of that is the Surya Narayana. Uh, I think we covered this, but I'm just once again say, what will the worshippers of Brahman, who are called Brahmavadis, yeah, who says that that's absolute, there is nothing beyond it. They can only possibly attain Brahma Jyoti with rigorous austerities and penances. And in that realization, they can only see the Sat, uh, which is the truth, absolute truth in that form. Then the next, who are the yogis who meditate in, going inside our heart to see that Paramatma who is present in everyone's heart. Yeah, considering him as the yogi, as the supreme, they can realize the Lord in Brahma Jyoti, that Lord has this effulgence. And also if they want, they can also perceive and travel, they can also travel to some Vaikuntha planets, Vaikuntha planets in through meditation. uh, I mean, through the samadhi state, mm, through that. And then the third one is the Bhagavan, bhaktas, devotees. They can, because they understand the completeness of the Lord, that and the purpose of the Lord, and a purpose of our own, which is called self-realization. In that form, when we understand who we are, which are spirit soul, we are also Sat Chit Anand, but we are only minute, but there is absolute. uh, and that realization one gets, and then he engages in the service, and in that way he is also, and that's why I said, it said that a devotee has all the qualities of the Lord, but very very minutely, but he also, yeah, so in that way he is able to appreciate the Lord in his complete form. How to understand this is, yeah, I think this was already covered by Vaijayanti Mataji, but I just use this to say, yeah, we know this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the first verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam, Janmadi Asya Yato Nidya. In that there is this last verse, Nirashta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So, which means, here it says, only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reaction of three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from illusory energy. I mean, this is still the translation. And then finally, for he is the absolute truth. Now, this is one reference. And then there is also this, yeah, there is also this another reference which we can say, Satyatmakam Tvam Saranam Prapannaha. So to understand Satya, Satyatmakam. So the Lord is the absolute truth personification. You are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. Anyway, that is from that context. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. So, in that way, we see that Krishna is absolute truth, yeah, realized in three levels, and the best thing is to realize in his devotional, in the form of devotion. I think I covered this. Any quick questions? How much time we is left? Maybe Rahul Prabhu or someone can say.
Yeah, we have like about we are kind of halfway. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So one question, Prabhuji, just to confirm. So the
Hmm.
super soul Paramatma is actually residing inside the Jivatma.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
Yeah.
how do we put that to the size perspective? Because the Jivatma, we say it's 1/10,000th part of the hair, tip of the
Yeah.
hair, right?
A very good question, because actually, if we see from Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord in the Paramatma form, it says that he is of a size of yeah, this much Angushtamana. That is the reference. But still, when he is all pervading, he is still taking a very small, tiny size. Uh, it's like quantitatively, we could say that what is the size of our soul or we ourselves. Yeah, but Paramatma, who is yeah, uh, differentiating in not only in terms of quantity, yeah, but he is also all pervading. So he is still minutely, I mean, he is still present in everyone's heart in a minute, infinitesimal form in everyone.
And it's always an integral part of the Jivatma.
No, it's not integral part. He is always separate. Only we are part and parcel of the Paramatma. So integral part means to say that Lord is dependent on us.
Not like that, but I mean, is it
Yeah,
like,
they
for
come
example, when
together.
a person dies,
Yeah.
I mean, so the
Hmm.
Jivatma and Paramatma lives together the body, or
As we see, when we take, for example, this reference of sun rays, right? When we are in this body, we are present. When we leave this body, we are leaving. What is happening is that the sun is all pervading. He's still there. On this body, if you see, there is no more purpose of the Lord to be present in the body. Yeah, as a life entity, because Lord is still pervading in the atom, yeah, which is a non-living. At an atom level, minute level, he is still pervading everywhere. So in that way, he is still there everywhere. But and then it is not like my Paramatma or your Paramatma. It is still one Paramatma. Yeah. So we see that Lord is all pervading. It is same one Lord who is all pervading in everyone. Yeah, and what happens? Yeah, your question, what happens when you're leaving the body? When you're leaving the body, it's only you who are leaving. Yeah, and then when you're entering, and the Lord, when you're taking a form again, Lord is present inside the heart. Because what is the purpose of Lord living in a heart that doesn't pump? I mean, that doesn't function anyway. Hmm? It is
Okay,
just
so the Paramatma doesn't really, I would say, travel with the soul from one body to other body.
no. That's what. So he manifests himself when we are taking a form.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like the Lord is all. I mean, if you are inside a house, yeah, if you have closed all the doors, the light is anyway there around. Yeah. When you open the door, yeah, then the Lord is entering. I mean, sorry, the light is entering the house, right? Yeah. Otherwise, there is no purpose. Yeah. So similarly, when we are taking this form, yeah, when we take the form, as soon as the soul and as Anumanta and Upadrashta, the Lord is again entering, yeah, as the Upanishads. No. What is which sorry, I forgot, but that is a reference which gives about that there are two birds on a tree, right? One bird is eating the fruit, and other bird is just seeing. Yeah, there is this reference through which we understand. Yeah, but when we are moving, then yeah, the Lord. Yeah, as I said, I mean, for a very long time, I had the impression that okay, this Paramatma is my Paramatma, or like it's a together entity. Yeah, it's like a box of two things that are going from one to the other to the other. No, it's not like that. It's not this one. That one is only one of these. Yeah, so we are part and parcel of the Lord. Why we call that is because the Lord is all pervading anyway. Yeah, and whichever object that or whichever body that we are taking, he is also pervading there. That's how we see him. And why he's there? So that he can see what we are doing and see how he can help us. Yeah, I don't know, Rahul Prabhu, did it?
Yes, probably that makes sense. Yeah. So
Mhm.
the Jivatma is actually the marginal energy of the Lord, and but
Yes.
the super soul or the Paramatma is actually not the marginal energy, but that's the Lord Himself, right?
Yeah. 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 Other example can be a small crack in a wall. Yeah. The water is anyway there. As soon as the crack is there, the water is anyway going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't mean the wall and water are same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
Harika
Prabhu.
Mataji, or yeah, thank you.
Prabhuji, I had the same question that Rahul Prabhuji asked. Thanks for asking. And the next question I had was, does the soul has gender? And the same question also applies to the God, Krishna. Does he has a gender?
Okay, good question. Very good question. First thing is the soul doesn't has a gender. Yeah. So why? How to understand how to understand this is that we say that the Lord is Purna Purushottama. Purusha means the enjoyer. So that's how we see that. Okay, Lord. Yeah. And then what is feminine is not a gender. Feminine is only energy of the Lord. Huh? So in that way, we see that there is the energy and energetic. So one who is energetic, he is the Lord, and the energy of him is the feminine energy, yeah, Shakti. So that's why there are two tattvas which are called natures. Yeah, I mean, tattva means nature or science, and one is the Vishnu tattva, and one is the Shakti tattva, and then we belong to the third one, which is Jiva tattva. Yeah, so there are three levels. I mean, in that way, we see that we are. I mean, a soul is not identified by the body. Yeah. So this material body is the one that is differentiating a male or a female. Yeah. That's why sometimes we also see that, okay, we are Vaishnavas. Yeah, they will not say, hey, I am a Mataji or I am a Prabhuji. That's the topmost level of realization where they say, hey, I am a Vaishnava. Yeah. I think I answered both. I think, yeah, that the Lord is in that way Purushottam, one who is enjoyer, and everyone who is serving him are feminine, which means doesn't matter. Even we are female in that sense because we are only energies to serve him. Yeah. Sudhir Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So,
Yeah. Thank you.
Prabhuji, just related to the same topic. I mean, the God is always like described as a
Male.
Purush. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it just like, but it doesn't really mean that because God is transcendental, so the gender, color, and all is all immaterial, right? I mean, because these are all material identities.
No, I mean, Lord still also has spiritual body, right? Yeah. So the material identities that you have mentioned, right? But there is also in spiritual, I mean, material identity is always a reflection of the spiritual identity. Unless there is in spiritual world something like that, there is no question of something having in material world. So that's why we have gopis, yeah, who are feminine. Yeah, we have the Lord who is male. And how we call such a person, we are calling as male. One who is getting the service is called a male, and one who is serving is called female. That's how it's distinguished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one is the one who is the offering service, and one is the one who is seeking the service. Who is seeking? Yeah. Who is the master? Yeah. And that is the Lord. And who is offering service? Everyone is, yeah, female. This is what. That's why the example of, this Mirabai, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, okay, uh, I do not want to see, yeah, because sannyasis, right? So they should be away. I mean, careful with female, yeah. So then Mirabai said, who is male here? Yeah. What she wanted to say is that everyone is female. Everyone is servants of the Lord. Yeah. Raghav Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, thank you very much for the topic. Probably one question like so there is a chance of fall down from Brahma Jyoti because there is no element of Ananda, and similarly there is a chance in if one is in Paramatma realization, then there is also a chance of coming back to this world.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In
Why? Because we are Nitya. What I forgot.
pleasure.
Anando Abhyas. Yeah. So we always are looking for pleasure. So we thought that pleasure is in Germany. We thought that pleasure is in Australia. We thought, na, after we go there, we think that okay, something is missing. Then they can either fall down because they may commit some offenses and fall down, or they may carry forward from there itself.
Okay.
Yeah, that is possible, but at least they will not stay there. That is not permanent destination.
Okay. But in Paramatma realization, I mean, one can be in Vaikuntha also at that time, and
Yeah.
then from Vaikuntha he come back again.
Yeah, also possible, because we have so many munis, right? So for example, when you talk about Bhrigu Muni, yeah, so yeah, who could go there? Yeah, because they have acquired that such a strength, right? It is not like Melon, what is his name now, who is arranging all the satellites to different planets?
Elon Musk, yeah.
Huh?
Elon Musk, you're saying?
Musk, yeah, right, sorry. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, in those days, there's someone sent him, okay, we want to know who is the supreme, now you go. Which means they could go, right? So Bhrigumuni could go there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has not become a strong devotee. Yeah, but he acquired these mystic powers through which he could travel through different planets. Yeah, and then he was checking, yeah, with his, yeah, it is something like trying to understand the ocean from inside the well. How much can we see is only very limited. Yeah. Anyway, so but I don't know if did I answer your question.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's not end of the session, so I'm sorry. Let's proceed. How to perceive Krishna in his creation. Yeah. This in itself can take also a very long time, but I'll try to go fast. But nevertheless, please stop me. Yeah. I just try to put some things, yeah, so that to give a appetite of understanding Krishna's greatness. One disclaimer is that we have to be very, very careful when we want to know a greatness of a person, because when we start knowing the greatness of a person, when we at come some stage we start mm, mm, having lack of trust, because we think, can it really be there? Is it really possible? Really possible? Prabhupada gives about this Mr. Frog, where he was sitting banging his heart, uh, where he was banging and banging. Is it really possible that there can be such a big body of water? And he was, and then the other one was telling, yeah, I have seen. And then this was not believing and quite excited, started beating more and more, and it died. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, coming back, yeah. So why I was telling this disclaimer is because we still have this challenge of not able to accept Krishna completely. That's why we are in this world, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing roti chapati, what you call roti sabji here, uh, no, or naukri chakri here. We would have been in different place. We are here because of somehow not understanding the Lord as He is. When the Lord Himself comes, yeah, at least there is some hope now, because Krishna, 5,000 years back, He came, He answered all the questions of Arjuna, and that wisdom in the form of Bhagavad Gita can help us to open our eyes, so that we can have this how everything, yeah. So if we say our very, very, very genuine question, yeah, very genuine question, right, is where did it all start? Who created it? Yeah, because we all are eager to know creation. Yeah, for example, of course, when we are using, we don't care, but some people are very keen to really know the root cause of anything, because then they can appreciate the greatness of that one who has done it, and also be able to do proper uh, uh, justice to the purpose of creation. So the Lord declares Himself that He is behind everything. Yeah, He is saying from a very basic element level to a thing that we cannot even conceive. He's telling that I am the taste of water. Now come on, can someone say is there a taste of water? Huh? Yeah, when we are very careful, then we can understand the sweetness of the water. Definitely there is it's not a tasteless thing. It is. And of course, why is Lord had to tell that I am the taste of water? What is so big thing? Yeah, because yeah, um, we may think that okay, anyway, people are not interested drinking water, right? They are interested drinking cola. Why didn't Krishna tell that I am the taste of cola, or I am taste of something? He's saying I am the taste of that purity. Water is the purest form of liquid. For that matter, we take anything, the taste of that purest form is the Lord. When we talk about the sound in ether, yeah, the Lord is telling that no, there exists a ether, and that there is sound element, and I am that. I am the ability in men. If a person is doing anything, remember that it is because of me. With the ability, man is doing so many things, but we have to understand: is he doing on his own? No, Krishna is saying that indeed it is me. I am giving that. Yeah, and then I am the life of that lives in every living being, that energy through which everything is working, functioning, living. I am that living energy. Intelligence, I am the intelligence uh, of the intelligent. By the way, the numbers that I have just mentioned here are the chapter and the verses. And then I am the prowess of all powerful men. I am the original fragrance of earth, mm, the light of the sun and the moon, the strength of the strong, sex life, which is non-different from religious principles. So, I mean, this what Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita is only a synopsis or a snapshot of what Lord is, just to give a glimpse of how great He is, what He is. Yeah, and He is saying that know that all state of being, be they goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. Yeah. So the Lord is the one who is the creator, which we say there are three aspects how to know the Lord. Just like how to know Bhagavan is the one having six opulences, and Lord can also be known by three things. One is called He is the supreme creator, hmm? He is the supreme enjoyer, and He is the supreme controller. Yeah. So in that way, He is the supreme in all the three aspects. Only if one who is of that, he is to be counted or learnt or known as Bhagavan. So when we talk about in this part of session, we are talking about supreme creator. So he is created, and he's saying that yeah, indeed he is everything. Yeah, but he is. Yeah, I am not under the mode of nature. So he created, but not for his own to enter it into and to dwell in it. He has created this material world so that because we wanted it, because we wanted to enjoy, because we wanted to have our own business without Krishna. So he created, and he is not influenced by this energy. On the contrary, are within me. So everything is resting in him. This is a proof that everything, all the universes, all the material entities, paraphernalia, everything is in Lord. I mean, this is a whole list of mm, what Lord is. Yeah, just to put it here. Of all the demigods, he is Indra. Of Adityas, he is Vishnu. Of Marutas, he is Maricha. Rudras, he is Shiva. Yakshas, Rakshasas, he is Kubera. So there's a list of all what he is. Yeah, to understand that indeed Lord is everything. Krishna is saying that I am everything, and when Krishna is essence of everything, we see that know that all the states of beings. Oh, I think we already covered that. Uh, there is still question, right? Why? Because there is this deluded by the three modes: passion, goodness, and ignorance. The whole world does not know me. That is the problem. Why? Because we wanted that privilege, so that how can we enjoy when we are servants? When we know that we are servant, na? How can we feel that we can enjoy? So Lord is giving such a privilege, such a illusory casting such a illusory energy, so that we forget ourselves. Just like, uh, yeah, I think a very nice collar job people with suit and boot and tie and everything, they behave very nicely, yeah, at work, yeah. But when the time comes in the evening, when they gather for a party, when they uh, get mm, intoxicated, yeah, because of that energy of the intoxication, they behave very strangely, thinking that they are now the enjoyers, no more slaves or employees, huh? Yeah. So the divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So the Lord is saying, for Krishna is saying that one who knows the right way, they can get the real enjoyment. Otherwise, my energy is so like that you'll always feel that you are enjoying, but you are not really enjoying. Why? Because after the night, there is a hangover. So in that way, after the pleasure, there is always a guilt. In the material enjoyment, there is always a guilt. Why? Because I am not the real enjoyer, but I am enjoying. So it is not right. It is not fair. So whereas one who enjoys spiritual bliss, because he is seeing the bliss of the Lord, so he will always be happy. And in that way, yeah, the Lord is removing such a illusory energy on devotees. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. It is not a black and white thing. It is not a black and white. We are in a gray zone. Some we accept, some we don't accept. It's not like, this is a statement for atheist. We are also atheist because to certain degree we have not accepted Krishna as absolute. So then what are they called? The miscreants, who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. Hmm? So do not surrender to me. And then that is the reason the Lord is really showing his universal form to Arjuna, because I think we have come to that primitive, that level, that whatever we see, then only we accept. I think this is what we are trained from our schools, universities, that what I see, then only I can accept. Uh, for the benefit of all of us, Arjuna asked, if Lord, you are telling that I am that, I am this, so many things you have said, what is the proof? Can you please show? Lord has shown his Virat Swarup, in which there is so much light that was very difficult, um, was not possible to see. But Lord has given special eyes to see the form of the Lord. And in that way, when one takes the glasses of Bhakta, when one puts the specs of Bhakta, then he can see, appreciate the personal form of the Lord. And in that way, be blessed. I don't know, maybe there would have been some more slide I somehow missed, but I'm happy that we have some time. If there are any questions, if anyone want to share anything, add anything, feel free. Otherwise, we can cover the topic time. But first, this session. Jajwale Prabhu, what do you say? Anything you want to add?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. Yep, thank you. Sudhir Prabhu?
Prabhuji, regarding the three modes of material nature, goodness is good thing, right? Why this will goodness and passion as actually
To feel good is sometimes foolish, na? See, sometimes what happens is when we are good, yeah, sometimes we may be carried away by the false ego. Just if you see so many leelas of Indra, demigod Indra, yeah, he is a demigod, which means he is having mode of goodness. What happens is when one is in the mode of goodness, and when one engages in the service, then he may get carried away by pride, because in the material world, whether one is in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, there is this false ego, the contamination consciousness. Even in that, huh? Good is good, but there is still beyond good. So we are not telling don't come to platform of goodness. Yeah, coming to goodness is very good, but there is still a risk that that's not the end, right? So one can again fall down. So we have to aspire for pure goodness, which is called Suddha Sattva. And in the mode of pure goodness, what is happening is one is not carried away by one's own hankering of pride, because it is very nice, right? So if you see Brahma, Lord Brahma, who is the creator, he's also called Aja, yeah, which means unborn. Yeah, why? Because he is born from the lotus, from Lord Vishnu. But then when someone is saying, hey, you are Aja, which means that, oh, you are great, right? Because and then what happens is Lord Brahma thinks that, yeah, he is great. And we know this Brahma Vimochana Leela. What happened is, in that greatness, he thought, hey, this boy, let me have fun with him. Let me show my power, right? In goodness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem is, it's called guna. Guna itself means there is never a moment where one can be only in one mode of goodness, because there is always the influence of mode of passion as well as ignorance, and because of that it is not called goodness. That's why there is above, which is called pure goodness, where there is no influence of these things.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. Yuvana Mataji, would you like to add something? You have any questions? Or yeah, it's boring, sorry. Deepali Mataji, you're on mute, but I think no questions. Yeah, Raghav Prabhu, I think it's last, no? It's already last session. Always when the class ends, so we can. No, I don't want to hold on. Yeah, if there are no questions, I am happy to conclude the session. Thank you very much. Of course, this session itself is one can go in a very elaborate way and can take more hours. Yeah, but as part of Bhakta course, it's more kind of clarifying few basic questions and giving directions where we can find answers. Yeah, to all our questions. So that is my attempt. Yeah, if you see scope of improvement, please do let me know. Thank you. Then have a nice afternoon and weekend. Yep. Panchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for some who have already given shared the answers too. Yeah. For this session, I will once again have to create questions, because what I've sent is from a different module. So please wait for my questions that I'll share. Yeah.
Yes,
At
Prabhuji.
least.
And we will also share the presentation.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.